Does Alex die? Alex gives birth at the hospital as Jacob is bandaged. While Alex urgently needs surgery to amputate her frostbitten limbs, the infant is clearly preterm and in a precarious position. Alex, however, declines and clings to her sweetheart. Before obstinately concluding that dying is preferable to attempting to raise a child with mutilated limbs, Alex decides on the name John, after his brother. Soon after, Spencer and Cara also arrive, and Alex dies while Spencer cradles him and the baby and sleeps through the night. Fortunately, the kid is unharmed, but Spencer's rage and thirst for vengeance are stoked. How does Whitfield die? After arriving at the estate, Spencer shoots Lindy dead and approaches Whitfield. Spencer destroys the estate and shoots him in the head after forcing him to say Alex's name. Tiana is on trial before a court, but because there are no witnesses, she is exonerated of any guilt. She is allowed to leave and, after receiving a horse, sets out to find a new home in uncharted territory. Since she no longer has a purpose to be here once Whitfield is killed and the ranch is rescued, Elizabeth makes the decision to depart. While Jacob talks to Spencer and chooses not to ride out with him, she bids Cara farewell. Knowing that his days of partying and mingling are coming to an end, he will instead take care of Spencer's grandson. How does Season 2 of 1923 conclude? The story's conclusion is confirmed by the narrative as Jacob and Cara sit together. Spencer never gets married again, but he does have another son because of a widow's support. For Spencer, Alex's memory never goes away, it remains as intense and agonizing as ever, confirming that she is his only true love. This story ends when Spencer does eventually die and is reunited with Alex again, giving them the joyful ending they have always desired. The review of the episode. This week marks the return of 1923 with its big 2-hour climax, and although the show does live up to its blustery, action-packed premise, fighting breaks out, it also butchers some of the story. A theory about Episode 7 finale. Alex is stuck in a snowdrift. They made it really clear that the drifts are the only thing that have been stopping the trains. The various train people and train-related conversations have said that the possibility of snow drifts are high but have not been seen yet in the areas they are going. I think this is the snowdrift that stopped Spencer's train and they just happen to be near Alex's stranded car. I'm betting it's gonna be a nail-biting, look over there, type scenario for the audience where we watch Spencer and Alex be 50 feet away from each other but never realizing it until the very last second. Alex will probably be going unconscious in the car and not hear anything as the train stands by waiting for the crew to clear the tracks. The tracks will clear enough and the train will honk its horn to warn of its movement. Alex will faintly hear the train and do a slow advancing crawl out of the car and finally stand on the roof of the car screaming for help, a la Rose from Titanic, and Spencer who is still in the dining car will catch a glimpse of her at the last possible moment and run down the car and find a way to stop the train or just jump off altogether. At GTH 321. Attempting that drive in 1923 is ridiculous during the winter. At Blake. At Blake. It wasn't winter anymore except in Wyoming and Montana LOL. Reply. 2. At Thefinilex Z1V. At Thefinilex Z1V 6 days ago. You only know that because you were told that. Reply. 1. At Atongknown 4024. At Atongknown 4024 5 days ago. No, it was ridiculous no matter what time of year. It was not because of the weather/season/whatever, no, it was a ridiculous idea because of the PPL making the plans to drive it. Rich PPL totally ignorant of the world outside their apartment or house. I mean really, it's 2025 guys, and that drive is still a mother bitch of a drive. We're talking 20 feet deep snow drifts across RDS in Wyoming that are still there when it's almost summer everywhere else and spans of RD where a full tank barely gets you to the next gas station even today, let alone in 1923 FFS LOL. I was floored when the old lady in Buffalo told her there's no more gas stations between Buffalo and wherever it was that's the next stop and Alex didn't speak up and say HEY, we need to buy a bunch of extra gas or we're not gonna make it. Seriously, the three of them all got each other killed. Alex will make it out just cause, but in reality, she'd already be dead cause she'd have never woken up before she froze to death. She'll make it. She's got plenty to eat, plenty of clothes now that the two dead PPL don't need them anymore, and there's a patch of woods close where the car is, so she has plenty of wood for a fire and most likely some alcohol to help get it started. The only thing I can see that may take her out is wolves or bears. Those cars were built like tanks back then, so she could literally make a little fire in the floorboard and crack two windows to let the smoke out and let fresh air in, so she'll make it out. I'd imagine. 3 replied. 1923 S2E6, will Alexandra survive while traveling to Montana? At a Tong known 4024 build a fire in the car. First off, she has no idea how to build a fire, and sure as shit you don't crack a couple of windows and accept to live with a fire in your car. Reply. 5, at Oxen She's 4 months pregnant and already hit by the cold. She may not have the energy or enough left of her brain power to do all that, but take Hillary's corpse clothes and take it out the car, plus rationing the food is doable. Reply. At the Flipper 3162 5 days ago. The train tracks near the highway. Reply. At the Flipper 3162 5 days ago. They should have caught a train in Sheridan, Wyoming, 30 miles from Buffalo. Reply. At Robbie Dickon. At the Finilex, Z1V the English people smoked. She can empty a suitcase, she has the letters of Spencer's to burn and anything flammable etc. PK 1982_5 days ago, edited. Great series, but Sheridan has really fumbled season 2. He's such a paradox in that he seems to have a great macro vision for creating and telling a story, but in season 2 he has lost sight of that vision within the finer details of telling the story. Keeping Spencer and Alexandra apart for the entire season after it was their romance that was essentially the key element of the series to begin with has been a puzzle. Sheridan needs to lay off the coke or the steroids because I think his creative sensibilities are suffering. At Ladybugmum 10 4 days ago. Usually when I watch a show I was looking to I don't want the season to end, but I'm so glad after this Sunday 1923 is over. I'm not sure I even like Alex anymore. Her selfishness and lack of common sense cost those two people their lives. I don't know what to think of Spencer, and I really liked him. But his storyline is boring now. Jack an idiot for getting himself killed, Elizabeth is super whiny, and don't even get me started on the Devil Donald. Ugh, I'm done with these types of shows.